it's stolen property. This is the Tommy of Hamlet tape, and it's stolen from our home, and everyone's making money off it. It's been exploited all over the world, and we're going to stop it. And we're going to sue everybody who sells it, distributes it, anything. We don't watch, we avoid it all. Tommy and I avoid as much as we can, but you do hear every once in a while some of these stories, and we just look at each other and we go, it's like the Twilight Zone, because it's so untrue. And if people would just ask us point blank any questions they wanted, we would tell the truth. I mean, we're very candid about our life and our lifestyle. If anyone's interested in our personal life, that's, you know, we talk about it freely or whatever, but some of the lies are very hurtful, you know, especially when it comes to the drugs or alcohol or abuse or the most ridiculous things. I just think it's terrible when people say bad things, especially when they're not informed. I have these kooky dreams, I write them down, I have lots of stories. I used to win creative writing awards when I was in school. I've been a waitress.
Oh wait, I'm busy.
You waitress with your mom.
I waitress with my mom. We were
boy, I bet your mom loved that, huh?
Pancake House. No, we were good. We're really good friends. But she had to kind of do all my work for me because I was never as good as her.
I never pulled a pint properly.
I was always dropping things and spilling spaghetti on people and, you know, making people upset. And she was always trying to smooth things over.
I hand it to them like that, all messy, and they don't care if they get it all over themselves because they're already drunk.
I took a travel agent course because I always wanted to travel, so I took that after school, but that didn't really go anywhere. I think it's just the mystique about California. I think, you know, when I lived in Canada, I wanted to come to California. That was my big dream. I went to a BC Lions football game with some friends. We had some free tickets. We were all wearing Labatt's Blue Zone t-shirts because this guy was a representative for Labatt's, and so he had all the free t-shirts. We had free clothes, free tickets, free. I said, okay, this has got to be fun. This will be all right. It was Blue Zone. It's the Labatt's campaign that was at the...
Oh, Labatt's beer. Yeah.
So they called me the Blue Zone girl. And then a cameraman zoomed in on me while I was in the audience, and I had a Labatt's Blue t-shirt on. I looked up and I just remember going, God, I look old. And I looked back and I went, oh my God, wait a second. My first reaction was that I looked old. And then I realized I was up there, and then I was down in the 50-yard line doing some drawing. And they had me kind of going back and forth all night like this. Ding, 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 ding. And everyone was yelling, and they pulled me down to the 50-yard line and introduced me. And they kept on showing clips of me and clips of football every Monday night. And so I was wearing a Labatt's t-shirt, and Labatt's wanted me to do a commercial and a poster. And then I got a poster and a billboard, and then Playboy discovered me from there and got me down here and did my first cover, October '89. Yeah, that was it.
The band.
Wow. I know, wow.
Although you turned it down on a number of occasions, didn't you? Because you were shocked when you were first asked.
Yes, well, wouldn't you be? I mean,
yes.
Do you want to be in Playboy?
No.
Yeah, for my first reaction was no, and then I talked to my mother, and she said, why not? You know, get out of this small town, go to Los Angeles, how exciting. I'd never been on a plane before. I'd never gotten out of my little town on an island, and I really felt, you know, I was scared to death, but it really, I had a wonderful, wild life, and I overcame a lot of my painful shyness, and that's for sure.
Was that a hard decision the first time?
Definitely. It was very difficult. My fiance at the time, I was engaged at the time, and he said, if you go do Playboy, then that's it. That's it.
I like that kind of guy.
So out of spite, I did it. I did Playboy out of spite, out of total spite. My boyfriend told me I couldn't, so I said, I'm going to. See you later.
Oh, really?
And that was it?
And that was it. I moved to LA.
In other words, the guy said, Playboy or me.
Right.
Well, I bet he's sorry now, huh?
Well, there's other reasons, too, why it didn't work out, but...
Now, you almost didn't make it to Los Angeles to shoot for Playboy in the first place.
You know so much about me.
Hey, we care.
This is scary.
We care.
I don't even need to be here. What am I doing here?
What happened?
No, I didn't, because I didn't have a work visa for the United States. Canadian, obviously. And, but Playboy didn't think there was going to be a problem because Kimberly Hefner had come down and Dorothy Stratton, and they just figured that, you know, we'd work something out when I got here. So I came through, and they looked through, they just searched my bags and everything. I was like, wow, I've never been on a plane before. This is crazy. God, I feel like, you know, I've never been out of the country.
Smuggling Tim Horton donuts.
I don't know what I was trying to smuggle over there. I looked like I was 12, you know. And they looked through and they saw some Playboy letterhead, and they go, what are you doing for Playboy? And I was like, I'm going to shoot a cover for them. And they're like, no, you're not. Go back home. You can't come across the border. And I was like, what? No way. So I went into the bathroom, I changed my clothes, I put a hat on. I tried to get like all stealth and everything. I was all, okay, I'm going to try a different airline. And I get over there and I rip up the Playboy letterhead and throw it away. Okay, I'm just going down to visit. And I get up to the counter, and it's the same person that was at the other airline. They had me under surveillance the whole time. So they sent me back, and so I phoned Playboy and I go, listen, you got it. I can't come down there unless you do it all legally, work paper stuff and everything. So I got that. I came down to the cover, and I'm fully legal. Well, they kind of slow, like, first of all, I came to do a cover, so that was clothed. And then they do this Playboy test where you shoot in lingerie, and they show you the Polaroids. You think, oh, that looks okay. Oh, you know, pull a little down here, a little here. Yeah. And you're like, well, okay, I can do that. And it's very tame. Playboy's very tame. Yeah. So, you know, 20 minutes you're naked and you're rolling around and you walk out practically naked. You're so used to it. So I remember being in a gym at Playboy at the mansion and looking around these women going, God, look at the bodies on these women. I mean, this is just incredible. I mean, they're so amazing. And then someone said, well, you know, they've had plastic surgery. I was like, what? You know, it was just...
You had no clue?
No.
You thought this was all Mother Nature?
I did, actually.
34D.
34C.
Look, can I just see? They're very good breasts. And I need the name of whoever did those because something horrible has happened.
I thought I was going to be a lot bigger. When I woke up on the operating table, I went, that's it? I don't know what I thought. I thought, you know, Dolly Parton. When I first developed my breast, I developed one nipple first.
No.
So.
There was no nipple.
One nipple first. You know how they develop and then one's hard and the other one was flat. So I spent a month trying to pound it back into my chest, thinking I had cancer. And then I sat my mother down.
So one's out, one's in.
Well, just a little nipple, you know, just one that goes over 12 or 13 or whatever, I had a nipple.
Right.
And I was convinced it was cancer. And I remember horrified, crying, sitting my mom down going, Mom, I'm going to die of cancer. Look! And she just cracked up, laughed, and hit the floor and started crying. And meanwhile, the whole month, I was trying to pound it in my chest, running down the hallway of my apartment. I was in Centerfold February of '90.
Yeah, what's that like to do that? Is it embarrassing?
It was terrifying. Actually, the first cover I did was the hardest.
That
was my first one.
First cover? Yeah.
My first one. I was in Playboy, and then Baywatch kept calling me to audition. I said, Marina Del Rey, I don't know where that is. I'm not even going to attempt to find it. So I ended up going with somebody else that was auditioning, and they said, are you Pamela Anderson? And I said, yes. And they go, you have the job, because we've tried to get you so many times, and I never showed up. That's how I got it. Acting is fun, but I've always been...
Would you want to be a serious actress?
I am a serious actress.
I mean, you know, like the classics, which is...
I wasn't offered a lot of movies. But Barbed Wire was just such a fun... I saw the comic book before I even saw the script, and I said, I have to do this. I mean, this is so much fun. If I never do another movie in my life, this is so me. I've got to do it. You know, my manager was like, this isn't going to be good for your career. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's a job. It's good for my career because I'm getting paid and I can put it in the bank. I play a bounty hunter, and that's it. That's all I know. No, I'm kidding. It's wild because she's got this kind of dark little twisted streak inside her head. I think that she kind of plays everybody and works everybody for everything that she gets.
I like to play rough.
Me too. Well, I was on Baywatch, and so they asked me to do the film, and it was actually really great. They changed directors 3 times. They changed the script a lot because it went to Cannes, and Cannes was so crazy. We hadn't even shot any film, and boats were crashing, and paparazzi were crashing into it. They thought, oh my God, this is going to be a huge, massive film. And then I got married, and Tommy was my sole focus. And he was beating up the producers, getting banned from the set. He was driving his thing into my trailer. He was Testros. He crashed into my makeup trailer. It was so much drama. I'm so surprised we got it done.
They were using machine guns, and I was amazed how loud they are. I had no idea how loud automatic weapons are.
I don't know. It was pretty amazing. I thought I just heard my husband out there. I know that was my husband screaming. That was Tommy, wasn't it? He's screaming up here. He's calling me. He's underneath me and he's yelling up the vents. Great. Okay.
How did Tommy Lee feel about you posing for Playboy? Did you like it?
Well, that's how he found me.
Now, you met the husband in Vegas?
No, I met Tommy actually the first time. I met Tommy for the first time New Year's Eve with my girlfriend, my best friend.
Right.
And he licked my face and I licked hers. That was the first time I'd ever had contact with him.
Well, you don't lick your girlfriends, you lick your boyfriends.
I licked her face, yeah, after he licked my face.
I hope she licks my face by the end of this interview. That would be good. Go on. Yes, that's my front cover. I'm famous now.
He called, and I was in Cancun, I was checking my messages, and he goes, I'm on my way. And I was like, oh my God. I got off the phone, I talked to my girlfriend, I go, He's on his way.
Like on his way up to your floor?
To Cancun.
No.
No, he's flying
That's
to
so
Cancun.
sexy.
I saw him. We fell in love. We instantly were
Like
drawn to each
instantly?
other. Instantly. We were this far away from each other the entire night. We were engaged. 4 days later, we were married, and we're the most in love couple on the planet.
Wow.
I only knew him 4 days when I got married to him. He stalked me down to Mexico and asked me to marry him, so I had to say yes. No, it was romantic. We went back to Cancun. We went.
Well, that's where you got married.
Yeah.
And that's what you got married in a was it a white bikini?
In a white bikini. I mean, we got married because there was a real chemistry between us, and we were just it was very quick.
Yeah.
But we fell in love. I mean, it was just wild.
What was it that he did? Like, was it a look or was it a thing? Or...
I couldn't even tell you.
What was the first line he said
to you?
to you?
Well, that's what I'm trying to remember, because him and I always talk about this. We go, what happened?
Right.
We were just instantly this far away from each other, and we just stared at each other all night into each other's eyes and kissing and hugging. And
no, from the minute you met him, you didn't say, like, excuse me, have you had herpes or anything?
No. As our relationship kind of evolved, he really supported me as a person. I really supported him as a person, which I've never found before, because everyone's always thought I was just a little whacked or weird, or that's really stupid. So, I don't know, he's just really, I wake up and I go, baby, I want to put a swing above the piano. And he goes, awesome, okay. That's fun, you know, we got Garen to make a swing with all this fabric and everything on it, and he goes, okay, now I just need to find somewhere I can stick it in the roof so you don't kill yourself when you get up on the swing and fall down. So he kind of makes things happen with me. Babies. Babies, babies, babies. We want, well, how many do we want, baby? 2 or 3? 2 or 3 kids. 2. Yeah, but we're working on it.
Well, you
definitely.
You can change your mind after this press conference.
No. I want to get pregnant. I want to have a baby soon.
You and Tommy's sex tape, my husband and I insist. No.
I've never seen it, and I will never see it.
We have.
I lived it.
It was the best one of all time.
Because it was innocent, probably.
It was so innocent.
No, because we didn't do it to sell it.
Right.
You know, it was stolen. A refrigerator the size of a safe was stolen out of our place, and we didn't know because we had it behind a carpeted wall and construction was going on. So we had people like Guccione offer us $5 million cash in a paper bag to have this, and we said, no, we're not getting involved in this. And so I think we started a weird trend, but we never made a dime off that tape. And we never will take it. It's dirty money.
Do you ever stop and think, wow, I wonder what the kids are going to think about this when they grow up?
You mean like the tape being stolen? Well, obviously that wasn't a choice.
No.
They know about it, and they know, obviously, and I don't think they're not going to be too shocked. I mean, they did grow up with us. They know their mom and dad are a little, you know, different than other moms and dads, but they know they're very loved, and they have a lot of structure in their life, and they're great kids. And yeah, of course, there's some things I wish, you know, I didn't have to tell my children, but life is full of mistakes. That's how we learn. That's how we get better. I had to tell them about that, you know, someone stole property from our house, and that we used to film everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
But
You haven't videotaped yourself having sex?
No. No, I
Really?
haven't. So what was your reaction when you found out that this most personal tape you could ever make was now being seen by millions of people around the world?
Well, I was completely hormonal and freaking out, and it was I mean, I've never seen it.
An incredibly stressful shoot for you for a million different reasons, and many of them medical for you. I mean, what was that like? Do you have your first big movie, and then your body almost rebels against you?
I know. Well, I didn't have too. Really, it wasn't too much. I mean, it was in the very beginning, I was trying to do everything, and then I found that I was pregnant, and I was still trying to do everything. Everyone was like, well, we know you're pregnant, but you still have to kickbox in that 17-inch corset, and you still have to work 18 hours a day, and you still, you know, and I mean, that's just the business, what you have to do. And I said, okay, well, I can do this. And then unfortunately, I had the miscarriage. I think that I was very ill, though, very ill. Nothing like I am now. I mean, I'm pregnant now. I'm going to have the baby soon. And this pregnancy is completely different. So I think something probably was wrong from the very beginning, and that's just nature's way of, unfortunately. But that was very stressful for me because I really wanted to have a baby. And so emotionally, I was really upset after that, too. And I had endometriosis, so I had to have surgery. I couldn't move my legs. So the day I could move my legs, I went back to work, and I missed, I think, 4 days of work. And that's it. And everything else that anyone's heard or whatever has got blown way out of proportion. They've really helped me through a lot of all the drama in the last little while. It's just nice to come back here, and it's just difficult, I think, for anybody to go through what Tom and I went through, but, you know, it'll happen when it's supposed to happen, and we're working on it full force.
When all those
It
rumors
was
came
hard.
up, you're on drugs, you're messed up or something like that, but you're
Yeah.
saying it was these other medical problems.
Well, I had a miscarriage and I had endometriosis, so I mean those are two big things. And emotionally, you know, that was the hardest part. Was just trying to get back into the film and get back into the groove of what was going on and trying to finish the film. And then having Baywatch, it was just really hard. Like I told you earlier, I said Baywatch is already calling me going, now when can you come back to work? Okay, how many weeks do you need after you have the baby? And then there's another movie that I'm supposed to do or possibly do, and they're like, we need to know when Baywatch ends because we need you 2 weeks after that. And I'm like, I haven't even had the baby yet. Someone give me a break. My fight is not for me alone, but for all celebrities whose privacy has been invaded. I will continue to fight not only for myself and my children, but also for legislation that would make what they are doing to me a crime. Well, we didn't make a sex tape. We were always naked and we were always filming things, and this was not a tape made for anyone to see. So, and we never made any money off this tape.
It clearly wasn't your fault. It wasn't fair, but...
No, but it started a trend. I really feel that we'll get them. And they'll pay for this because this is illegal and just very sad. And you're like, you know, jump on the bandwagon. Everyone's making fun of us and
Making fun? What are you talking about? I'm sorry. Making fun? What do you mean?
We're making fun.
I maybe told one little joke or something.
One. Tommy's been taping them. I've got it here.
What do you have?
I only got to show it.
Tommy, Pamela Lee, Pamela Lee, Pamela Lee, and Tommy Lee. Pamela Lee and Tommy, Pamela and Tommy Lee, Pamela and Tommy Lee, Pamela Lee, Pamela Lee, Tommy and Pamela Lee, Tommy and Pamela Lee, Pamela and Tommy Lee, Pamela and Tommy Lee. Maybe one or two. Did you have a favorite of them?
It's not funny. It's not funny. This is devastating to us.
Well, it is?
Let me ask you a question. Did you ever do anything? What's the dumbest thing you've ever done not involving a video camera? Can you think of anything? Oh, no.
No. But there's nothing that says I love you more than stolen property.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's just the two of them. There's no handlers.
A houseboat.
A houseboat.
All right, this can't be we're not doing a commercial for this.
No, but it was so cute, though. Your love, it was so affectionate.
We signed an agreement with them that only let them out of the 4 minutes that they showed on the internet. And that was our understanding of that agreement. And the only reason we signed the agreement is because it was a week before I was about to give birth, and they were making threats to me, and I was giving birth at home, and I was very focused on my obviously much more important things. And we never gave them the right to sell the videotape or distribute the videotape anywhere in the world or show it on, you know, different television shows or anything. So we're going after everything because it's just unbelievable.
Off of that?
I made not $1.
I thought you guys made a deal.
Property. No, we made a deal to stop the shenanigans and stop all the. I was 7 months pregnant with Dylan, and I was thinking it was affecting the pregnancy, the stress, and I said, I'm not going to court anymore. I'm not being deposed anymore by these horny, weird lawyer men. I don't want to talk about my vagina anymore or public sex, anything. Yeah. So, you know, it was stolen property. We never, either of us made anything from it, and it was stolen. And you know, Bob Guccione tried to offer us millions of dollars. We said no, and it was already out at that time. The damage was done. So we just said, no way, we're not getting involved in that. Silly me, I got married and a lot of complications in my personal life at that time. So that's a long. I've forgotten about that point in my life. You can't really do anything about it, so you can't get upset about it, and you just have to hope that people will be supportive and say nice things eventually. It's just, I don't know. It's the difficult part about the business, but also it's part. You don't want to complain about it either because it's very flattering that anyone's saying anything at all about you and that's supporting your career in any way. So it's a double-edged sword. You just have to kind of live with it.